Hello everybody, this is JonesRMJ here. Samsung Galaxy Unpacked of August 2020 just happened today, where Samsung introduced the new Galaxy S20 Note, S20 Note Ultra, the Galaxy Z Fold 2, which is kind of a bit of a weird name for the next-gen folding phone, and also a couple of other things such as some new Samsung Galaxy Buds, a new Galaxy Watch, and yeah. So in this video, I'm going to summarize everything released at this Galaxy Unpacked event to make it easier for you to know all the new products that Samsung has announced. Before we get started, I make lots of content including tech, architecture, gaming, and more, so be sure to go ahead and click subscribe and ring the notification bell so you do not miss one of my awesome videos. So first off, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. This is obviously the successor to the Galaxy Note 10, and the two main things I found Samsung to really focus on with these two phones were performance and the S Pen. Now, as far as differences go between the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra, the regular Galaxy Note 20 does lack some features such as the high refresh rate screen, microSD card storage expansion, and the periscope zoom lens, but it's still decently expensive with a starting price of $999 for a model with 128GB of storage and 8GB of RAM. The regular Note 20 also has a slightly smaller display compared to the Note 20 Ultra at 6.7 inches compared to 6.9 inches, but both displays are pretty big. Both phones are obviously going to be powered by the latest and greatest Snapdragon 865 processor. However, the Note 20 Ultra will have 12GB of RAM, but it will also start at 128GB of storage, and the starting price for the Note 20 Ultra is $1,299, which basically is not quite as expensive as the S20 Ultra was, but it still is pretty expensive. Both of these phones also have pretty much the same punch hole display as before, with a slightly noticeable chin. I really wish that Samsung would make the bezel the same size all the way around, even if it meant making the side bezels a little bit thicker, just because my OCD just gets me with the bottom bezel being a little bit thicker. However, when it comes to the main feature that Samsung improved with these phones, it's gotta be the S Pen. Samsung mainly improved the accuracy of the S Pen this time around with a new little feature that they call predictive writing or something along those lines, where basically it uses AI and the different sensors in the pen to determine where the pen is most likely heading towards so that it can draw in line automatically and reduce latency. The S Pen also obviously carries over a bunch of great features from previous generation Note phones, such as the quick edit features where you can press the button to quickly write notes, and also use it as like a remote control and stuff like that as well for if you're like taking selfies or stuff like that. Personally, I don't really think a pen is necessary to have with a smartphone, as if I'm going to write on a touchscreen, I probably would rather just have a tablet since it just gives me a bigger screen that's easier to write on. But for the people that like it, there are definitely some noticeable improvements with the S Pen this time around, and you guys will probably enjoy it. And finally, I already know I touched upon pricing, but here is the exact pricing. The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 starts at $999, and the Note 20 Ultra starts at about $1,300. The smaller phone only can get 128GB of storage, but the bigger one can get 128 or 512GB of internal storage, and only the S20 Ultra will give you an expansion micro SD card slot. Personally, I think these phones are overpriced for what they have to offer. The standard Note 20, I feel like, really cuts a lot of corners from the S20 Ultra that I think it's kind of, like, I think it cut a little bit too many corners, and overall, I don't know, I feel like spending over $1,000 on a phone is just not really worth it anymore, because there isn't really anything new or exciting, I would say, with these phones. I mean, yeah, there've been some improvements and stuff, but I feel like the innovation for smartphones is definitely dying down. In addition, budget phones like the iPhone SE, the Pixel 4a, the OnePlus Nord, and even Samsung's own Galaxy A series have gotten so good that it's kind of hard to justify spending more than twice or 3 times the price of what these budget phones cost when you're not really getting too much more, since most of these budget phones include similar, if not in the case of the iPhone SE, pretty much exact same specifications as the more expensive phones. By the way, this screenshot is actually of a live Twitter poll I have going on my Twitter account right now, so be sure to go ahead and vote for what your favorite budget phone is out of these 3 options, and also be sure to follow me on Twitter if you want as well. Link is in the description and probably in a suggested card as well. Next up, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 and S7 Plus. I'm honestly kind of surprised that Samsung is still making these tablets because I feel like Android tablets have died a long time ago, but I guess they really want to compete with the iPad Pro, so Samsung made a pretty good effort to try and do so with this tablet. When it comes to the specs, these tablets will both be packing the Snapdragon 865 Plus just like the Note phones are, and either 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM. The S Pen for these tablets will also feature a lot of the same improvements that were made with the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra as well, which will definitely be very nice for people that like to use this as a note-taking device. There's obviously a keyboard you can get for it as well, as pictured here, and one of the things I actually found kind of funny is Samsung said that this is the first tablet with a 120Hz screen when, well, the 2017 iPad Pro has had that ever since then. But these are the first tablets to support 5G, so if you live in a city that supports 5G, then you're covered. And of course, one of the nice features that these tablets have, just like the previous generations of the Samsung Galaxy tabs, is Samsung's DeX mode, which kind of creates like a little desktop interface if you want to use this as more like a computer, which is definitely very nice to have in a tablet if you want to use it with the pictured keyboard case. And as far as pricing goes, I unfortunately couldn't find it on the Samsung website, as you have to apparently sign up for the latest details on it, but I did find on another website that the smaller 11-inch model will start at $650 and the larger one will start at $850, which I think that is very reasonable pricing for what this tablet has to offer. Next up, Samsung did finally update its wearables with the Galaxy Watch 3, which oddly enough they actually skipped Galaxy Watch 2 because these succeed the 2018 Galaxy Watch, as well as the Galaxy Watch Active and the Watch Active 2 that followed in 2019. The main noteworthy changes are that the design is a little bit slimmer, smaller, and a lighter profile, but the screen size has increased to be 1.4 inches in a round screen. It comes in 41mm and 45mm sides, and Samsung says that you can expect 2-day battery life from both models. In addition, Samsung also updated the watch to make it more competitive to the Apple Watch Series 5, with features like to be able to measure your VO2 max, which is basically just the maximum amount of oxygen you can use during exercise, and a data point that's commonly used to measure athletic endurance. You can also measure your SpO2, or blood oxygen saturation level, and in addition, Samsung is also introducing sleep tracking as well. It also features a new fall detection system, kind of similar to the Apple Watch Series 4/5 one as well. It has an electrocardiogram, can track blood pressure as well, and it's just received FDA clearance for the ECG function, so it'll follow in Apple's footsteps with an ECG feature. And when it comes to pricing, these watches will not come cheap, but they are pretty comparable to the Apple Watch Series 5 in terms of pricing. The non-LTE models will go for $400 and $430 respectively for the 41mm and the 45mm version, and the LTE models will cost $450 and $480 respectively. Next up, the Samsung Galaxy Buds Live. The easiest way I would describe these are basically the AirPods Pro in relation to the AirPods. These are like the Pro model compared to the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus that were released a while back from the Galaxy S20 series. Aside from basically having a completely different design from the Galaxy Buds Plus, the main feature that these guys have are active noise cancellation, just like the AirPods Pro. In addition, Samsung also claims they've improved things like microphone quality and sound quality as well, but we will know for sure once these come to the real world. The best part about these earbuds, though, in my opinion, is easily the price. They will go on sale for $170, which undercuts Apple's AirPods Pro by $80, which means that you will be saving quite a bit of money if you go for these, which is definitely great to know. Plus, these will give you active noise cancellation, and who knows, they might have even better sound quality than the AirPods Pro as well. So definitely, I think by far the best thing for these is the price, as that is definitely going to be a very competitive price. And last but not least, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. I'm not sure why they called it that instead of just the Samsung Galaxy Fold 2, but I mean, here it is. It's basically the Samsung Galaxy 4, but Samsung definitely learned a lot more when redesigned this phone, as instead of having those absolutely huge bezels on the phone when it was closed and the absolutely huge corner notch when it was open, things have been a lot simplified to just a hole punch at the top for when the phone is closed and open. Now, personally, if I'm being totally honest, I'm not really that big of a fan of foldable phones because I don't really think they have anything more to offer other than just simply the cool factor, because you're just simply going to get a better experience, in my opinion, on an individual tablet and an individual smartphone than you would on this, at least when I saw the original Galaxy Fold. Maybe Samsung has done some things this time around to make it a little bit better, but personally, I don't know. I'm not really into foldable phones, especially given the huge price tags they carry. Now, obviously, one of the biggest problems with the original Galaxy Fold was the durability. I mean, the plastic inside screen, in order to get it to fold, was just so prone to scratches, and the original model actually had to get recalled because the screen could peel away. Yeah, not very good. But thankfully, Samsung this time around did seem to address some things. They've embedded the screens a little bit better. They've also, they're claiming to use ultra-thin folding glass. However, as we saw with Jerry Rig Everything's video, it still scratches at a level 3, which is just like plastic, so I don't really know if that's true or not. Maybe it is, and it's just super thin that it scratches easily. I don't know, but that's definitely another thing I really hope Samsung can fix, is the scratch resistance. Spec-wise, I believe this phone will have exactly the same specs as the Note 20 Ultra, so the Snapdragon 865 Plus, probably 12 gigabytes of RAM, and the starting price will be just like the original phone, $1,980, which is just crazy. I don't think that's worth it, especially given that you could buy a good smartphone and a good tablet for less than that price and probably have a better experience. But I mean, who knows, maybe this phone will drop and maybe Samsung really improved it dramatically and maybe it's really good. I just don't know. But honestly, I'm not super excited for folding phones. I just don't really see the point of them, but who knows, maybe things could change. And there you guys have it. That basically just about wraps up Samsung Galaxy Unpacked for August 5th, 2020. Overall, I do think Samsung has some great products that they reveal at this event. Samsung has always been very good at making smartphone hardware. Software is kind of a little bit of the weak spot, but it seems like they're starting to improve in that area as well. And overall, I think Samsung is definitely on to some great products. However, the biggest problem I feel like Samsung is having right now is just the pricing for these. Spending well over $1,000 on phones, especially when phones are starting to see less and less innovation and improvement, is really just starting to make it hard for people to upgrade their phones every year. And when I think it comes to the average consumer, more average consumers seem to be buying mid-range and budget phones like the iPhone SE, the Pixel 4a, and I'm anticipating the OnePlus Nord will be pretty popular, as well as all those phones offer basically most of the great things that the flagships have for much less. So I really think that if I were in Samsung's shoes, I mean, I know they already have the A series, which is basically the budget phone, but I would focus on trying to make their phones a little more budget friendly. I feel like they're starting to get a little too expensive, especially when they don't really offer that much new stuff. So yeah. That's not to say that what Samsung announced today was bad. I think all the products they announced today were great, definitely some of the best in each category. I just feel like Samsung's starting to get a little bit too expensive, and especially when you're outpricing Apple in areas, yeah, I feel like they're starting to get a little too expensive, mainly with the phones. However, I do think that the Galaxy Tab and the Galaxy Buds Live, I do think both of those are pretty well priced, so those things I think will be pretty great as well. So yeah guys, that's basically a summary of everything released at Galaxy Unpacked today, and this is where I'm going to end the video as well. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought of today's event. Do you guys agree with me that Samsung's getting a little pricey, or do you think it's fine? Be sure to let me know what product you're most excited about down below as well. As always, be sure to give a video a like if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, I guess the other button works fine as well. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe and ring the notification bell so you do not miss one of my next awesome videos as well. Thanks a lot for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.